Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today we're actually doing a RAM overclocking video for once. And yeah, so this is my daily system. It's a very empty desktop because this Windows is about 1 day old. The old one just became way too slow and sluggish and just messed up, so I just reset everything. And I thought, hey, if I'm gonna start from scratch, why not try to get some faster memory this time? I can just use the remainders of the old system to just do my memory overclock and not risk corrupting the new system. So I did. And this is what I came up with. So, this is the kit. So it's a Corsair 16GB, like 2x8. The XMP is 3200 CL14 1434 1.35 volts. This is already some BDI timings, but yeah, version 4.31. So this is BDI, or more like specifically 8 gigabit Samsung BDI memory, which yeah is, I mean, yeah, if I assume you know what BDI is if you watch this video. So that's the kit. I'm gonna say right away, do not buy kits like this. This XMP specs like that basically. So I'm not gonna say I'm good at memory overclocking or I know a lot of things about it, because I don't. I only recently started taking DDR4 overclocking a bit more seriously when I tried to like get a bit more out of the CJR on my test bench, which I guess I maxed. I'm not quite convinced I maxed this kit, especially because it's BDI. It can go way faster than what I've set it to. But yeah, anyway, so from what I've seen, if you buy BDI that's spec'd at 1.35 volts, that's basically other words for it's not gonna scale with voltage, because that's basically what I saw here. But yeah, I mean, it's BDI, but it's like not very good BDI, essentially. Like, it times like BDI, but I'm having some problems getting it clocked high, is essentially what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's first try to see what we ended up with. So my final results. So yeah, XMP was 3200 14 34, and I ended up at 3600 14. Well, this is just as 14 usually. Well, on an AMD, the XMP is 3200 14 34. On Intel, just both TRCDs are just one timing. On AMD, it's a different one. And as you can see, it can set into different things on AMD. So yeah, what I ended up is 3600, CL14, 8, 14, 13, 26. So yeah, it's faster and tighter than XMP. And I mean, yeah, like, see it. Well, actually, I don't know if maybe DJR does like CL14 at 3600, but like TRCD that low, that's how you identify BDI. Or also TRFC 250, that's like way lower than at least what CJR does. Like, the only memory chips I ever seriously tried to overclock was this BDI and then some CJR, and CJR does like 470 TRFC. This does 250. So yeah, that's how you can see it's BDI. So yeah, it like times like BDI, not as I mean, so the thing is, CL is maxed. This literally doesn't go lower than 8. This is maxed. TRP is maxed. TRS and TRC might actually not be maxed. Those could go lower. I'm not entirely sure. TRFC is maxed. Oh, I could like go 5 lower, but if I go 10 lower, it's unstable. I don't know about T4. I like those subtimings. I don't really know anything about. I basically what I did, like you can see here. This is just a screenshot from one of Buildzoid's video. You can see his test bench over here, where he had some BDI of his own and was trying some overclocking. I basically used this as a starting point, and then just like kept tying down the timings, because he was at 3733, I think. I'm at 3600, which we're getting to that later, when my frequency is too low, so low. But yeah, you can see like I tied down my TRC, DRD, my TRP is the same, my TRS is lower, my TRC is lower, my TRFC is lower. Was it TCWL? No, TWR is 10. I think here it is 12. Yeah, here it is 12. Mine's is 10. And like, yeah. And then the rest of the timings I basically just copied over. That setting is very hard to find in Gigabit BIOS. So, yeah. That's basically what I ended up with. And I mean, I am somewhat satisfied with what I got here. It's fast, like it's definitely BDI and it's definitely fast. It's just for DDR4 overclocking standards, it's fast. For BDI standards, it's like, from what I can tell, not that great. Because, okay, let's look why it's not that great. So first off, I'm at 1.5 volts. For 3600, that's like kinda high. Like, I've seen plenty of kits that did this entire frequencies at less voltage than this. I'm also at 1.2 volts SoC voltage. I never tested lower voltage than that just because like 1.2 volts is not dangerous and it just can give you better stability, so I just like set it to 1.2 and forgot about it. One thing I also didn't do, I didn't set any of these settings here. These are all of them are auto because I do not know how these work and what you should set them to, so I just let the motherboard do its thing, which by the way is a B550 Euros Master, if you're wondering, like it says it up here. Yeah, so then other settings I haven't talked about. Okay, yeah, power down disabled, because apparently disabling that can give you extra stability. 1T command rate, and gear down mode is off, so this is true 1T command rate, which like gear down mode enables basically a stability booster, and like having it off can give you slightly better speed. And basically I didn't see a difference between gear down mode on and off, like both passed stress tests just fine with these settings, so just turned it off for extra speed. My FCOK is of course at 1800 because we have 3600 megahertz. Speaking of FCOK, I have a suspicion it's about this BIOS, like the F13E BIOS. My FCOK does not go over 1900, and even at 1900 it might be unstable. I didn't really test that much, but I can say that 1933 just instantly produces tons and tons of errors when I clock my FCOK that high. Which, I mean, I'm on a 5800X, it should do 1966 FCOK, for example. Like in 2000 could be finicky, but I've heard that 1966 should work on this, and mine doesn't even do 1933, which could just be bad silicon, or it could just, or I'm leaning more towards a BIOS issue, because I've heard a bunch of things about BIOS causing FCOK not to clock that high. So yeah, but that's not the reason why I'm at 3600 megahertz. The reason why I'm at 3600 megahertz is because, well, I talked about how this is a kit that's at 3200 1.35 volts, which basically means it won't scale with voltage, because why else would you put BDI in a kit like that? Well, so I'm at 1.5 volts already, which is like, for 3600 is like pretty high from what I've seen. And the problem is, this kit just doesn't go higher. Like, I mean, not higher with like sensible timings. I tried, just for shits and giggles, I tried the Patriot Viper Steel 4400 CL19 XMP settings. Those worked just fine, but they were also slow. And like my MCOK was 2200 megahertz and my FCOK was still 1800, so it was like decent to hell. So yeah, I mean, it clocks high frequency, but like it doesn't really do good timings at higher than 3600 megahertz. So basically, I can clock this kit to more than 3600 megahertz, and I can have it run somewhat like timings like these, like slightly lower for some things just because higher frequency, but I can mostly keep the same primaries at more than 3600 megahertz if I give it more VDIM. The problem with giving it more VDIM is not that more than 1.5 volts is dangerous for BDI or anything. No, the chips are gonna be just fine. The problem is my PC is like pretty much all water cooled, like GPU, CPU water cooled, which means that pretty much all my fans are behind radiators, which means that in terms of like airflow for like other components that need air cooling in my PC is actually not that great. There's not that much airflow. And then this is like an RGB kit, so that there's LEDs on top of the sticks that also produce heat. And basically just, if you look on hardware info, the temperature sensors say like low 50s when stress testing. When gaming it's like high 40s, but when I'm stress testing the memory it's like low 50s. And from what I've seen, if you go over 40 or something like that, BDI starts to lose stability. So yeah, I have a suspicion it's both that my kit is just not that great because it's a 1.35 volt SKU, and heat. Because yeah, if you pump a lot of voltage into DDR4, it actually starts producing a bunch of heat. So yeah, that's why I'm not really that's why I don't have anything stable with good timings over 3600, because I had something. I had a, what was it? I think I had 3800 14 14 15 14 34 or something, like past memtest or TM5 now, at 1.6 volts. The problem is, it was stable one day, and then the next day when it was really hot, it was not stable. So yeah, basically when I go over 1.5 volts, I'm in the territory where just like the sticks are producing too much heat. And if I just have a hot day, they're just gonna be unstable. So can't really go over 1.5 volts. And because my kit kinda sucks with voltage scaling from what I've seen, yeah, that's why I'm at 3600 megahertz. Yeah, that's basically this. Yeah. I mean, the settings kinda suck. Like, I'm very new to DDR4 overclocking. Like, yeah, I'm not good at this. It's like, literally what I did is just, this is BDI. I just look at what other people run on BDI, and then I loosen up the timing slightly and tie them back down until I hit what my kit can do. Speaking of what other people run, so this is a screenshot from someone from Ricky J139 from the Linus Tech Tips Discord server, who was also overclocking his BDI. He's on an X570 Unify, which basically means his motherboard's already worse for overclocking than mine, because, well, actually, I don't know, it could be like a newer X570, those might be on par, but if it's like an old X570, they just have inferior memory topologies to B550. And from what I've heard, Gigabyte B550 is also just like the best right now, and like this is an MSI board, so even if it was like a new X570, from what I know, the Gigabyte topology is just better than the MSI one currently. So basically I have a better motherboard for this. He's on a 5900X, I'm a 5800X, that shouldn't really do a whole lot. But as you can see, he's running 3733. He's running 1.49 volts. He's not even running his SoC overvolted, and he's running better timings. And this was a person that, well, I just spent a few minutes saying I don't know a whole lot about memory overclocking, but this person was asking some questions in that Discord where I'm like, okay, this guy probably doesn't know even less than me, which isn't meant as like offensive, but like, yeah, he was asking questions that the way you just go, oh, okay, like, yeah. I think, yeah, because I think I suggested raising VSOC, because he was having, like, this wasn't fully stable for him. He had, like, some slight errors, and I suggested raising VSOC, and he was like, what is VSOC and why should I raise it? So, basically that kind of person. But, yeah, so, that's kind of why I'm not really that... that's why I don't like my kit that much, because he's running faster, he's running less voltage, and he's running better timings. So, he's running 12 TRP, I'm at 13. He's running 245 TRFC, I'm at 250. Again, this wasn't fully stable, it could be that those 5 ticks are the thing. He has told me that his 12 TRP always passed stress tests. Mine didn't, my kit does 13, it doesn't do 12, it pretty much immediately errors. So yeah, he also has geared on mode on, which okay, I mean, well, gear down mode, turning gear down mode off was like one of the last things I did. I had it on for like most of my stress testing. I just tested if it would work without it, and it did. So I left it off. But yeah, so what other times? We have the same TCL, we have the same TRCD WL. My TRCD RD is actually a bit lower. Which I guess my kid does kinda good TRCD then. Or maybe it's just because he's at high frequency. Because I also had problems getting my TRCD RD at 14 at 3800. I think I had it at 15 when I did that. But yeah, his TRP is better. His TRAS is better. He has 21, I'm at 26. My TRC is better. And then all the other stuff, I think that's the same. No, his TWTRS is 3. And this is also lower. Yeah. Also, yeah, TFC in nanoseconds is slightly lower. He's at around 130, I'm at around 140. It's just... yeah, that's basically why I don't like my results that much, even though they are like still... Also, he's on dual rank. He has 32 gigs. It doesn't say if it's dual rank or not, but like it's BDI and he has 32 gigs and he's on a platform that only has 2 memory channels. So either he's running 4 sticks or he's running dual rank, which is even harder to stabilize than mine. And he's already running fast and better timings, god damn it. Oh, I just noticed his VDDG is like higher than mine. Or maybe that's because he was stress test. Maybe this is like an idle versus load thing. Like, I do not know about all these voltages. Like, I know SOC and VDIM. That's like it. Yeah, of course he's running high MCOK, FCK, UCOK. And, yeah. That's the annoying thing. So, okay, you can see, so he's running a G-Skill kit, his is 3600 CL14, like XMP, mine's is 3200 CL14, so basically probably the same timings, but his is faster, and his kit probably comes at 1.4, 1.45 volts, versus mine comes at 1.35, so, yeah. Yeah, so that's basically the thing. So, I have been thinking of ways to maybe get this kit a bit fat, because I really want, like, I want at least 3800 stable, because I want to have my FCOK higher. Yeah, basically, I want my FCOK at 1900, basically, so I want to have 3800 memory. But just, like, I mean, I could get it stable at 3800, I just wouldn't be running BDI timings, I would be running, like, I don't know, like, I would be running like CL16, 18, 18, which like, well, actually, what does CL16, 18, 18 at 3800? CJR doesn't do TRCD 18, it does 19. I don't know about DJR, maybe DJR does that. Like, basically, I wanna have that CL14, because I wanna flex that I have BDI, and this kit just doesn't do that at 3800. Not without a sensible amount of voltage. Yeah, but I've been thinking of like getting a small like fan to just put on top of the memory sticks. That could work, that could give them some airflow. I'm just not entirely sure how I'm gonna like fix it, because like I have a normal case, I don't have a test bench for my daily. So I don't exactly know how to put it in there, especially because there's a radiator right in front of the RAM stick, so there's not really a lot of room in there. And yeah, I was also thinking about just getting another BDI kit, because right now the Patriot Viper Steel 4400 CL19 kit, like 19, 19, 19, 39, 1.45 volts, like that's BDI, it's just about €100 right now in Germany, and I was like, hey, I could, yeah, I could buy that and then like test if it's better than this kit, and then essentially I would either just keep both beta kits on my daily and get up to 32 gigs because I had some things like max out 16, or I would just throw the worst kit at my test bench and actually have good memory in it and not CJR. Though, to be honest, my test bench has a Z370T topology, so it's not gonna clock high anyway. It's just basically it would just be better timings at the frequency I'm already at. Yeah, but I don't think I'll be doing that. I mean, this, all things considered, this kit is still like pretty fast. It's just like for B-die standards, like, so you can see here, someone who apparently knows even less than me is just beating me without even trying. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. We are at 20 minutes, so someone managed to get it that long again. But yeah, here we have a memory overclocking video. I'm not really good at it, but I guess I got some results. Like, I guess like the timings are decent. It's just the frequency is kind of low. Yeah. So I guess this is it then. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.